All right, hello everyone. It is time for another video, and I might be a little more soft-spoken today. It is mid-afternoon here, very hot, and some we got some sleeping people around, so I'm gonna try and not be super loud. So I'm also gonna turn down the music just a bit. You might need to turn up your audio a little bit for this, but I'll try and stay at a good, reasonable volume. Be close to the mic, such as it is. Anyway, so the update for Wotv just dropped, and we have our first preview of Thunder Veritas, which we are going to get to almost very quickly. almost. But I wanted to show off this because taking a look at Thunder Veritas here, you might notice a few things. Cross mastery, sure, you would expect that. It's a piece of armor this time. We have the reliquary bow, which I think is relevant for talking about this unit, because it is one of the sources of power. We have Bahamut, we have the Ice Horse card, and we also have the Ramu card, which is pretty standard. However, you might notice this, and you might be curious what exactly this is. Well, this is a new accessory. It might have been mentioned in the patch notes. It might have been mentioned in one of the pieces of news, but I definitely didn't see it. And if I did, I didn't think anything too much of it. And first off, just take a look at this thing. 888 HP, 3 defense, 3 spirit. This is the vitality version, which means that there are 2 other versions to be had, and 20 critical evasion. Now, that in itself is kind of interesting, but scrolling down, you can guess 25 elemental chain resistance. Not my favorite thing in the world. Okay, so this is the major piece. This accessory is the thing that you will want for every single Veritas unit. And needless to say, Veritas equipment is not super easy to farm. It takes a while. But looking at this, this is a straight 50% HP boost, attack boost, and magic boost of 40%, dexterity of 35%, 20% for luck, and 5% for agility. And you might be curious, is this Thunder Veritas's equipment? No, it's actually a universal piece of equipment for all the Veritas. All the Veritas units get these bonuses, and this is a pretty big piece of the make the Veritases even stronger. I've commented, I think, a little bit about which Veritas I think are excelling still, despite their age, but this comes out of essentially nowhere and is a massive boost. So let's just talk really quickly about how you get it. So if we head over into here, it is located in this shop. I do not believe that there are any other ways to get it, and it is with Ice Veritas metals, which is interesting because the Veritas equipments essentially have been pretty on the nose just for the actual character. Oh, but wait, that's interesting. It's not available for wind, but it is available for water. It is available for earth. It is available for fire, and it is available for ice. So it actually is one that you can get for all of them. And this actually do like, I know it's weird for Umbra to say that, but I do actually like when they do this kind of stuff, when it is more flexible and easy to do. Essentially, if you have a Veritas you're not super keen on building, if you are just interested in, or you have finished one, for instance, me with Water Veritas, I've actually finished Water Veritas. I've max reincarnated, I've fully got her piece of equipment, and now I'm actually free to just start working on this, which is kind of nice. And while I'm working on Ice Veritas metals, I'm still getting metals towards building this, which is kind of cool. As a matter of fact, let's just right now go over here, go over into here, And we'll just craft one right in the middle of the video. I wasn't planning on doing this, but whatever, as they say. Interestingly, it comes up pretty high on the list there. Take a look. So we got Barrier this time, and 621 HP, 20 for critical evasion, 6 defense, and 13 spirit. Needless to say, this is going to be one of the most required pieces of equipment for the Veritas units. And yeah, Globalers, you might want to think about who you want to build, who you don't want to build, and maybe saving some resources to prop up some of the better Veritas units quicker. But this is kind of also nice because a complaint is generally how long the Veritas units take to build. It's problematic that they might be irrelevant by the time they are built. Well, if equipment like this keeps coming out, then maybe it won't be such a problem. Either way, credit where credit is due. So taking a reminder, or a quick reminder, that Thunder is not my best element, and as you can see, this is not a magic-based party at all. I don't really have a good magic party right now, but I don't think it's super relevant. If we just take a look, here's Lightning in this group, here's Thunder Astrius, and here is Thunder Veritas. And I think that her stats, even at a 120 without her 140, hold up very, very nicely. 112 speed, 11k HP. Of course, don't forget that this piece of equipment is a major consideration now. 16k magic, almost 17. 53 accuracy, which is a little lower than I thought. Maybe it would end up being, but some single target and AoE resistance. Looking at resistances here, actually pretty good for a range-based character, and paralyzed, slow, and don't move. So next, let's take a look at the Trust Mastery. This is actually something I didn't look at beforehand, but no worries. Just gonna take a quick snap just to make sure I got the right thing here. All right. So increases water attribute resistance and area attack resistance of allies within range for 4 turns. Tough to say. I mean, I would assume that this is probably 25. Best case scenario, maybe 30, 35. But it's pretty okay. I don't think that water is quite the threat. This doesn't overly impress me. But yeah, moving on. Now, let's talk about the thing that actually does kind of impress me. Now, we've talked about master ability, the AP gain, and the reaction block, as well as just the other stuff that comes with that. But what is new, and I am happy to report, is that her support skills are very, very promising. Move -1, range +2, with the extra damager on there too. This is what we wanted to see with this unit, because that extra range is going to allow her to get her attacks in, disable some of the stuff on the opposing team, and be really, really useful in that sense. So that is really, really nice. Second ability is just magic up and shooting resistance penetration, which is exactly what you see for damage sake. As for this, it's reflex. And I don't remember. Yeah, it's just all attacks. So reflex, which is looking very, very good. Talking about her sub part of her job, basically a speed down AoE ability with good flexibility, and another ability that can cause confusion, but it's on a single target, so I'm not incredibly excited. Might have a decent chance with high fate that you would expect on this unit, but overall, sub part of this job is not as impressive as I would like, so leaves the door open to her subs potentially being good. No, I don't have that data yet, because of course I don't. All right, next up, basic attack has a higher amount of accuracy on it, which is good. We'd like to see that. This one is her other basic attack, one that you are going to constantly be using, makes you less likely to be targeted and creates a barrier that prevents up to a certain amount of damage. So unconditional damage mitigation, which is just very, very strong. I would assume that this is probably 7,500 HP, because that's the going rate. But it's good that it's both physical and magical. It means that she's good into multiple matchup types, especially into Shrekken, who is the current terror. But also, I mean, you're just getting hate down, which means that she is more likely to do her thing and do it quite well for a longer period of time. This ability we talked about before, it is the incredible wall of text. Increased defense penetration rate, mental penetration rate of allies send around yourself for 4 turns, increase your own CT, re-raise effect, increases attack resistance or resistance penetration rate 4 turns, and adds an effect that seals target's re-raise removal. So that's generally really good. Over here, we have a large damager, a single targeter, which is, you know, good. That is good that she can potentially be on single target teams or AoE teams. This does increase shooting resistance penetration as well for 3 turns, and deals magic damage and lowers healing power. A little bit of a cipher effect, unfortunately. Not AoE, that would be nice, but I guess she can snipe a couple of people before they get even close with her range extension. This one is her big AoE. We talked about it before in the preview. Higher accuracy, double hits, and removes additional attack effects such as Shrekken or Gilgamesh's secondary follow-up attacks. And here, last but not least, this is her job level 25 ability, and removes guts and deals magic damage, so pretty straightforward. Guts, Mortal Spirit, survive a fatal hit. Overall, I think that Thunder Veritas is quite good unit, looking very, very promising, but I think that the much bigger standout headline here, this piece of equipment, which can just boost a lot of Veritas units in a pretty relevant way, making them very stat comparable with some of the strongest units. I mean, keep in mind, this is without versus some units that do have Trust Mastery Stone, so that it is a fairly good representation of stats with this equipment, with this build. So looks might be a little deceiving, but don't be. Anyway, that is your Thunder Veritas preview. Probably will do a little bit of a test later, but for now, that's all. See you later.